Cage Minds, Micah Frankel. We're at the new SFS Duke City Rough Rider Barbell building, and the man behind ILL Chino Meal Prep, Rick Silva, joining us. Track this man down for his first ever interview. Thanks for the time, dude. How you doing?
Problem, doing good, Micah. First one to actually get me to do one of these, so let's make it good.
We'll try. Now, again, we mentioned the company, ILL Chino's Meal Prep. The idea, the company, the launch, how long has it been around? Start hitting me with some of the details here.
Officially established off of just an idea, 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And honestly, the pandemic is one of the things that led to so much success for us. And it kind of went right in line with my good friend and some ways business partner, Freddie Sandoval. We both kind of started doing our own thing at the beginning of the pandemic and just pushed through it. Didn't really change anything up, hustled all the way through it. He came up and I came up kind of about the same time. And as far as the name and the brand, it's just something that I put to paper, came up with an idea of, and made a real thing and hit the road with it and just started going, man.
How long have you been involved in the food service industry?
Food service industry, on and off, I've been doing since I was a teenager. I've done everything from fast food to short order cook, sous chef. I've worked hand to hand with nutritionists and dietitians in retirement homes and recovery facilities. That's where I really learned a lot about nutrition, balanced macronutrients, everything from low sodium, no sugar dieting, things like that. And then of course a lot of my skill just comes from all the different types of cooking that I can do, just based on experience alone. I'm not classically trained chef. I've never claimed to be a chef, just a really good cook, but most of all, I'm a hustler.
So where does this idea during the pandemic come from that you're going to put all these different skills to use and launch your own company? How does this happen?
It's kind of a revelation that I had. Not gonna lie, I got in a little bit of trouble right before the pandemic hit. Had stayed my ass out of trouble for a long time. Worked in the corporate world for 10 years, selling uniforms and linens. Met a lot of different people, did a lot of different things. But one thing that I never got away from was the fight game. I've always had a love for it. I've always had a passion for it. I myself am not a fighter. I do enjoy it. I like the training. It's fun for me. It's a good way to stay in shape. But as far as fighters, the fight game, and everything combat sports, I've always loved it. I've never been much of a football guy, a basketball guy, or anything like that. But one thing I do follow is the fight game. Went hand in hand because back in the day, I used to actually train at Fit NHB. And that's when I really fell in love with the training part of it. And then I actually got a crazy idea. I got motivated enough and confident enough that I thought I would fight. Never got that far, but I did start actually managing my weight and learning a little bit about nutrition, making my own meals. Along the way, a couple of fighters that were just coming up that ended up fighting, from anywhere from WEC to UFC. I did a lot of meal prep servicing for them, just kind of contract work, getting them ready for a fight, and kind of never really pursued it back then. But after working for corporations for 10 years, lots of food service stuff, got in a little bit of trouble, had no choice, kind of had to come up with a side hustle. And that's what I went for, and lo and behold, it took off. And I haven't worked a regular job for 2 years. This is what I do. A lot of people ask me, what else do you do for income? What else do you do? This is it. We're a meal prep company, and that's all we do.
How much time and how many nights, I guess, did it take to start to construct the menu and what you wanted to design your meal prep plans around?
To be honest, I had a pretty good general idea when we started, but all the way up until the first year, everything was all kind of like fly by the seat of our pants. I would literally sometimes come up with a menu the same day we would put it out. But with the knowledge that I have and a lot of the experience that I have, it was not necessarily easy to do it that way, but it turned a lot of success, and it's been a lot of trial by error. I won't sit here and say, oh yeah, I had a whole 5-year plan and this and that. I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to do this more than a few months to make some extra money, to pay for things like lawyer fees and court costs and things like that I had going on. And then at the same time that I was doing it, I was still working actually 2 different jobs. But the fact that I was able to do it and then still have some success off of it made me motivated enough to push for it all the way. And then right at the beginning of not just the pandemic, but what would you call it, when the quarantine, I got laid off from both jobs that I had. So I really had no choice. The furthest I got with unemployment was actually submitting paperwork, but I never got a single unemployment check. It was just all ILL Chino hustle from then to now.
How surprising is it?
It's surprising. It used to be daily. Anymore, it's monthly still. But the thing about success that I've noticed, because I don't feel like I ever really had a lot in other things in terms of the success that I've had with the meal prep company, is it's addicting, man. I have my days definitely where, like anybody else has with anything else, where I don't want to do it. But every day I wake up, every day I push harder, and every day I have new goals, and I accomplish them. And I'm constantly checking off goals and setting new ones, and it's just that success is definitely an addicting thing when it comes off of the hard work, for sure.
And it sounds like what I'm getting from you is that some of this has been very freeing, also having the ability, also just making you happier running your own company and not having to be somebody else's employee.
Definitely. I mean, if I tell anybody the truth about being an entrepreneur and owning their own company, it definitely isn't always a luxurious life. It's very stressful. It's very hard, but when you're doing it for yourself and you're seeing all of the reward, all of the accolades come your way, and you just see yourself keep achieving more success, there's no better feeling than it, as well as the freedom of just knowing, like, when I wake up in the morning, I don't have a 9-to-5 schedule. I have my own schedule that I have to maintain, but it's just a great feeling knowing that I don't have to go report to someplace where they're gonna have me do calls and things that I don't really want to do. I do what I want to do, and I know not necessarily the formula, but I know what I need to do to keep achieving the success. And it's just like knocking down pins in a bowling game, man.
And the growth of the company seems to have been very rapid. How surprising is that to you? And can you explain a little bit how big it's grown, how fast?
That I didn't really realize till other people started telling me, just like a lot of other things that we've done. But yeah, the growth's been exponential since we started, and considering we're only 2 years in, a lot of people think it's only one, but it's more than, I'd say, quadrupled in growth since we started. And the sky is the limit, because there's so many more things that I want to do. I tell people all the time, like, we're just getting started. And 2 to 5 years was the original plan once we decided to go full force with it. And now that we're in the second year, it's time to really turn it up, and definitely coming up.
So could you explain, because there's a lot of different meal prep plans out there, what separates what you guys do with ILL Chinos?
I think the biggest thing is, one of the things that inspired me to start this was just the knowledge that I have, and knowing that I can cook a lot of different styles of food, as well as my cooking style is like nothing else. It's been one of the hardest things to train, I guess, my coworkers on, but it definitely sets us apart, as well as the different methods that I use to give people a balanced macronutrient diet. And then I think the other part of it is actually really simple, and it's my marketing, it's my networking. That's one of the things that I definitely learned from the corporate world, is how to market, how to network properly, and that's key in any success as far as growing a company, no matter what you're doing. But I definitely come with a different approach, and I use the resources that I have as far as networking to get into places that I know will achieve success.
And then, so we're telling, it's day one, I'm a new cook, and the boss man is my trainer right here, because we got to learn to do it the ILL Chino way, right from the man.
Right. Yeah, it's really simple. When you get in our kitchen, a lot of people are surprised. The only thing that there's a flair for is I do definitely have OCD, and I like things a particular way. And that's the other thing that sets us apart from other companies. I mean, you have company A who will just throw a bunch of stuff in a container, and it's just mush. You have company B, they have a little bit of flair, but you're not really getting what you need. We fall right in between those lines of giving people food that they're going to actually enjoy and keep coming back to, and they're still getting the right nutrition, the proper macros that they need. And it's been proven through the fighters that I've worked with, the bodybuilders that I've worked with, serious professional athletes that use our product to make weight, to make cuts, to make gains, that it works and it's good.
And how much do you get to have fun with this and get to play around back there, be a mad scientist, and start coming up with new menus?
Well, I get bored real easy. There'll be certain weeks we'll go by doing the same things that we've done for a while, and I'll get bored and I'll just throw out a whole new menu of completely new recipes. But I'm always looking for ways to change things, to make things better, because I eat it too. You know, I don't eat it all the time because I love all food. I won't sit here and lie about that either. But I eat my own food and I don't put out anything that I wouldn't eat myself. So I'm like my own biggest critic when it comes to things. So I'm constantly trying to reinvent, revamp, just redo things and make them better.
And then not just the meal prep plans, but you guys have delivery and pickup stations, so it's available to many consumers.
Yeah, exactly. We have pickup locations all over the city. We used to do Los Lunes. We don't do Los Lunes anymore. We're actually trying to expand out up north now. So we do Rio Rancho. Possibly in the future we'll be doing Santa Fe. And it's built for convenience, because that is the market that I came from in the service industry before. I'm huge on the customer service aspect of everything. So getting everything to everybody, and our home delivery is what really helped us take off during the pandemic, because there was a lot of people staying home. They could only eat so much fast food, so that was key on our growth and success. Just getting products to people at their home really helped us grow.
And for more information, where can people find it?
So right now we have illchinomills.com, which is our website, has the whole rundown of everything that you need to know. Socials going to be ILL Chino Meals on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is a lot more popping. You'll get a lot of information there, as well as a little bit of flair from the company and people that I work with. And we have an app coming soon within the next week or two.